pretty difficult to keep any deep discussion going when you constantly have to stop because the camera shuts itself off, because you have to deal with other things. Oh, great. Well, that's the way it is. Okay, so basically I went up to number 19, right? So number 19, yeah, we came to the conclusion that it is a great ability to have, to be able to read what other people think, but not just to be able to read people or anything like that, but to be able to understand, because there's always a reason why everyone does everything. So if you can see and understand that, you have a deeper understanding of them, and then you can communicate better with them. You can help them better if that's what they need from you. If they need something else from you, you will be able to do that better as well, because you understand them better. If you, on the other hand, are like Moon Heart, who doesn't understand Lightfoot because he doesn't want to. He doesn't put himself in Lightfoot's position ever. So then you won't be as effective then. If you don't have that ability, or if you don't want to put yourself in the other person's shoes, you simply won't be as effective with them. If it is, like the complete opposite, where both of you don't like each other and don't want to put yourself in each other's position and don't care about understanding each other, those are two people that won't be able to be friends or to be anything, and it's gonna be like war between them. And I think everyone has the not the ability, but the choice, maybe the choice for it not to be like that. But unfortunately, there's human emotion and all that in the way, and for many people it is like that. They don't understand each other because they don't care about actually trying to put themselves in the shoes of the other person or anything like that. If they do care, then there's that option, and if they take it, more understanding and something else can happen between those two people. It can just be a normal friendship, but when there's a good friendship and the two people understand each other, it is a higher quality friendship. So this is a great ability to have. It's gonna make your interactions with anyone much better if you can see them and understand what is going on through their minds when you see them. This is much harder online. Online is a pure game of assumptions and guesses and suppositions, because you are not seeing the other person in front of you. So how can you know? You don't know. You don't know. You can make clever guesses and stuff, because a lot of us share a lot online. So you can make clever guesses still, but it's not the same thing as sitting and having a conversation with someone else and really seeing in their eyes how they think. And you can, when that happens, you can really understand what's going on with the other person. If you're not shut off to understanding, if you're close to that and you don't care, then it's not gonna happen. So we're going to number 20, 278. So this is the other page. She had been so involved in the fight, she hadn't even noticed it when it had happened. Okay, so why? Because of adrenaline, perhaps. I'm guessing that you already read the book. So this was a very different reaction from Kara than what happened in the first book. In the first book, Into the Land of the Unicorns, when she had the first fight with a Delver, she was overcome by fear. and the Delver pretty much kicked her butt at the very beginning of the book. So it was just one Delver, and he won. But in the battle that takes place in Song of the Wanderer, she wasn't overcome by fear because she wanted to save her friends. So she actually was brave, and she fought with a sword and everything against the Delvers. And it has to do with this response, this subconscious response that we have, which is the fight mode, the fight or flee response. So when you choose to flee, you already decided that the threat is too much for you to handle. So you're overcome by fear and you just want to run and get the hell out of there, save your butt. But if you choose the fight response, your mind has already chosen and decided that you either have to deal with that threat because you don't have any other choice, or you're more than capable to deal with that threat. So then it gives you a full boost of strength and power and anything you need to get it done, to deal with it. But it is that response, and that response is like night and day. It's like full fear and get out running from here, or completely ready to fight and even braver and stronger and more powerful, because that's the path that your mind choose to take for you, or the path that you chose to take yourself, if you were the one that influenced yourself into going through that route. So that's what happened there. Basically, she, in the first book at the beginning, she had the flee response. She was scared, she wasn't ready to fight. In the second book, she had the fighting response, and the outcome was completely the opposite. I think she with the sword, obviously, she actually took down like 2 or 3 of the Delvers. And in the beginning of the first book, that single one almost killed her. So it's a huge difference. So, and it is important to hopefully choose the right response, because if the threat is really too great for you, like if you have to fight with 3 lions or something like that, I hope that you run away from there, because not run, it really depends. It all depends on how everything is at that moment and what you have available for you to be able to handle that. But if it is something that is something humongous, something that you can already obviously know that you cannot deal with, it will save your life to actually go into the flee response and just run. But if it is something that seems threatening but that you can deal with, not taking the flee response will actually increase everything. It will increase your skill at dealing with those things. It will increase your confidence. It will increase your knowledge of the things that you're capable of, because you were facing this event, this thing or whatever it was that was threatening and very challenging for you, and instead of leaving it and not doing it, you chose to do it. So only good things can come from that, because if you chose to do it and you actually did well, you take yourself to another level. So you improve as a human being, or in your mind, and for everything else you do, because you already have like a victory there, and that's gonna stay with you. Okay, 21. 21 is on page 298. So this is basically the idea number 21 that I got from this. 228. Okay. How do you know it's night? And then the old dwarf responded, I listen to my body. Do you have to have the light to tell you everything? So this it's more like a scientific idea that is already shown. The human body and the bodies of other animals as well have time cycles. And there are some time cycles that are not negotiable, like for example the reproductive cycle. During this time in the lifespan of this animal, he or she is gonna feel the urge to reproduce. That's not negotiable. That is like in genetics, and it's gonna be that way whether you like it or not. But there are other cycles in the body that can be influenced by habits. One of those cycles, I believe, is the sleeping cycle. It can be switched if you are sleeping at a different time every single day. It can be changed. I'm sure there are other cycles as well. Like if you get used to doing something at the same hour every single day, eventually you start to create a habit, and your body gets into sort of like a cycle where every day you get to the hour and your body is ready for that. Okay, so that's it for number 21, the cycles that the body can create. Number 22, it's on page 301. Okay, this is good. This is good. So, this is Kara talking. It hurt her heart that Moonheart and Belle were so obvious about avoiding the two newest members of their band, always positioning themselves as far from Lightfoot and the Dimbledon as they could, and refusing to speak to them unless necessary. Okay, so I'm gonna use this from this book to tell you what I thought about, which is related to us, to people. So people allow their past experiences to influence their current behavior, even if it isn't behavior that is good for them anymore. So we tend to sometimes let something from the past, an experience that we had before, influence something that we do today, or something that we choose to do today because we're choosing to do it consciously. And maybe there was something, or there was someone that you didn't like, and you have to deal with that something and that someone again, and you choose to take this attitude that is not so happy. And not most of the time, not always, there are times when you should take that attitude because it is the best way to go. But there are times when doing something like that is not being beneficial for you. It's not being beneficial for you. It's only to your detriment. And that is the case of this, like Moonheart. He should let go of this not important, because it really wasn't that important, problem that he had with Lightfoot, and just let it go because his nephew Lightfoot is pretty good. So this little problem that they had a long time ago, he should just let it go and not let it continue influencing the way that he behaves towards his nephew. So this is an example of how letting this past experience is making him do something right now in the present that is not what is best for him, or for the family, or for his friends, or for even himself, because it's better when you're in harmony than when you are in constant battle with someone else that is not really giving you any reason to be fighting with them anymore. So yeah, the person that decides to be, or to continue to be angry and mad when there's no reason to be that way. It's just, going against themselves when they could be more harmonious, which will be better for themselves, obviously. So let's see, number 22. No, number 22 is the one from right now. So yeah, the influence of past experiences is great, and that is the case for everyone. But you need to realize which of those past experiences you shouldn't let you should not let them influence you anymore, because they are not giving you anything positive. So that's something that you have to realize. Okay, 23, 337. Face, this is something related to the previous one. Face issues you haven't dealt with. I mean, it's pretty obvious. If there's an issue that is still bothering you and that will continue to bother you no matter what, and you can take it out, remove it, if you face it, if you do something to remove it and get it over with, you should do that so that you can live better without that issue. Sometimes it's going to be difficult, especially when it is related to a person.